This was our MinisForum motherboard at the end of the last video, sitting on its ITX test frame. At the making of the last video, I was still waiting on a few key parts for the project, not least of which was a heatsink for the second SSD. In this video, we are mounting the motherboard firstly into a Makerbeam frame and securing the HT-Flex 500W power supply at the rear of that frame. Here you can see the motherboard mounted on the frame with a 120mm extractor fan sitting behind it, this to exhaust the hot air generated by the CPU from the case. There are two power connections from the power supply to the motherboard, the 24-pin ATX connector and a smaller 8-pin connector for the CPU power. I've bolted the main socket to the back of the frame, and the last thing to fit is the power switch. A quick look at the MinisForum website to download the PDF for the motherboard, and we have a diagram on how to wire up the power switch. I'm going to be using the last of my Mod My Toys power switches, which just happens to be a red LED switch. And now we are ready to do some testing. I'll be comparing this computer using Passmark to the previous build of a MinisForum BD895i with 64GB of memory, which does have a graphics card, so it will score higher on the graphics side. This new motherboard is the BD895i with 96GB of memory, and is just using the integrated graphics. So here are the results from the 795 board. And here are the results from our new build. As expected, the graphics scores are lower. Looking at reviews of the motherboard, the major selling point of this new 895i board is meant to have a slightly increased single-core performance. No evidence of this yet, but my testing so far has been minimal. One item of interest which I will be testing is the upgrade of the USB from 3.2 to USB 4 on the 895i motherboard. So I'll be initially trying out a monitor connected to the USB Type-C port. The 8945HX processor is reported to have a faster or more capable NPU for AI tasks, which is going to be the primary purpose of this computer. So just to double check on performance, I've run Cinebench for the CPU tests, with the new computer's results on the left and the previous build on the right. As with the previous test, the 795i motherboard scores slightly higher. So to complete the build, I'm going to mount the Makerbeam frame inside a 10.5-inch 3U half rack, which is 400mm deep, from All Metal Parts in the UK. To secure the Makerbeam frame to the rack, I've 3D printed a couple of facing brackets. These racks are designed to be stackable, and come as a flat pack for self-assembly. I've used a variety of these in previous projects. So next, to attach the Makerbeam frame to the rack, using the 3D printed brackets. These will allow the frame to be securely connected to the rack at all times. Now we can simply slide the Makerbeam frame into the rack case and fasten the retaining screws. The case is now all but finished. We just have to add a 1/3 U height air vent above the Makerbeam fascia to complete it. And now it's ready for production use. So as this computer is intended for AI use, I want to run a local AI on it and compare the performance with the previous build. I'm choosing to use the Llama platform with the OpenAI GPT OSS model for comparison, as I know that doesn't make use of the RX 9060 XT graphics card I have in the previous build computer, Mini001. So the only difference between the two computers will be the processor and the amount of memory. And here we have the results of the identical query run on both machines. Mini001 is the original computer, with 64GB of memory and the BD795i motherboard. and Mini002 is the newly built computer with 96GB of memory and the BD895i motherboard. We see a significant reduction in thinking time. Whether this is due to the addition of a new NPU or the extra memory in the new board, or a combination of both, is an interesting question. However, that's it for today. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching today's video. Please feel free to click on the link in the description below to discover more videos.